Hi everyone, welcome to your June Alchemy Scope. I'm filming this on the Taurus new moon on May 17th. Here in the US, the new moon happens in a few hours, and it's happening on the 18th in Europe. It feels really good to film these on the new moon because this is the start of our new cycle. This is why I do these scopes. So it's the new moon, new month. And it's just richly imbued with the energies of the cycle itself. So I'm doing the card spreads today, and I'm doing this introduction today as well. So a couple quick logistical things before we get going. One is I want to sincerely thank those of you who have provided feedback and comments and emailed me personally, and new clients that have come forward. And I also want to really thank those of you who have donated. It's so appreciated, and it's so needed too. So I just really send you deep gratitude for that. It does not go unnoticed. It is so wonderful and so deeply appreciated. So thank you for those of you who have donated. These are time intensive to actually produce, but I'm so thrilled to do it. So I love creating these, and I love having the support to actually continue doing them, which is great. And I want to send a special thank you out to Eileen Wilkinson, who sent me the most amazing little angel in the mail. And it came at the most opportune time. So thank you, Eileen. You and I are in contact, as you know. So the other announcement I have is that I have started a Patreon campaign, and this is an ongoing campaign. I'm really excited about this, actually, because what it's doing is, for those who are interested in contributing on a monthly basis, whether it be $2 a month, $11 a month, $22 a month, or $55 a month, there are different benefits that you get, different additional treats, I suppose, different educational tools, additional pieces, additional videos that you'll get depending on which level you wish to support me at. And at the $55 a month level, for those interested on having kind of a continual touch base, I'm offering, in addition to the other list of goodies that you'll get, is a free 30-minute Skype session with me every month. And for those, of course, we can tune into your current astrological transits that are at play. We can talk about your solar return. We can talk about your soul print. We can talk, if you've had the archetypal profile done, we can dive into your archetypes deeper. We can also, if you've not had it done, we can actually start to identify your archetypes, and we can go there. So, and that would be every month, a free 30-minute Skype session with me, in addition to these other benefits. So I'm going to add a link either up here on the video or down below, or both. So if you'd like to learn more, please tune in and share. I'm excited because I think this could lead to deeper investigations, a deeper portal of investigation between me and the viewers. And there's going to be like Q&A, and there's going to be some other pieces. There's also going to be a mid-month Alchemy Scope coming up for those who are patrons at a certain monetary amount. So you can read the details below. And one more thing before we get started. Many people, as you probably know, because you've likely asked this yourself, a lot of people ask about which sign is optimal for me to watch. Sun, ascendant, moon. And I will tell you that it's very clear to me, for those of you who are serious about your soul's growth, serious about your spiritual evolution, who have been working on it for a while, you will find that your ascendant sign, as it is for your astrological scopes, because when you tune into your astrological scopes throughout YouTube and beyond, you want to tune into the house that's affected by the planetary relationships that are at play. But in addition, the alchemy scopes are like that too, in that when you tune into your ascendant sign, your ascendant is your perspective on life. It's the horizon line, so it's your viewpoint of life. It's your perspective. And we are moving through this incredible time of deep personal shifts, deep collective shifts. Our perspectives are shifting radically. So it is the ascendant sign that is going to guide you most accurately for the month. Now, if you're somebody who is new to the soul evolutionary journey, who is really, new to it and hasn't been doing a lot of work on themselves, you probably will resonate most with your sun sign. So you want to still tap into your sun sign. I mean, I still review my sun sign, but I have to tell you that in the last couple of years, I've resonated less and less and less with my sun sign and much more with my ascendant sign. Now, the other key is your north node. So if you do not know where your north node is located, what sign your north node is located in, find out. And in my online library, you can find out which sign your north node is in. There's a birth chart at the bottom of the online library where you access the Dakinis, the meanings of the Dakinis. So at the bottom of that page, there's a birth chart calculator. You want to tune into your north node because the north node is your soul's evolutionary journey. So more and more and more, just like your ascendant and your perspective that's evolving and maturing and growing and transmutating, so is your soul through the north node sign, see? So ascendant and north node, I would say, are your key scopes to look at. You still want to tune into your sun sign to see what the flavor is there. I have found for me that the sun sign is almost more of a sub-story that's playing out, and you might find the same thing. So it just depends. It depends on your beautiful, brilliant, unique constellation of self that is your natal chart and where the weight of impact is in that chart. So it's going to be different for everyone. You need to tune into that a little bit. And if you'd like a session with me, we can talk about that as well. But your ascendant and your north node, you really do want to tune into those, especially if you're serious about your evolution, about your growth, about your clarity, about your maturity. So that's all the announcements I had. I just wanted to make sure that that was clear. So let's talk about the Sabian symbol, the symbology that's imbued with this beautiful Taurus new moon that's happening in a couple of hours. It is happening at 26 degrees 55 minutes. And the Sabian symbol is an old Indian woman selling the artifacts of her tribe to passers-by. There are many beautiful aspects to this symbol. One, it's a woman, the feminine. Next, it's an old woman, wise woman, mature woman. Next, it's an Indian woman, indigenous knowing, indigenous wisdom, whole knowing, connection to nature. Then it is this wise, mature, indigenous woman selling these artifacts, these creative formed elements from this indigenous tribe of wise, connected to nature information that is now being disseminated to passersby. There's something quite beautiful about that. So I'll let that sit with you a little bit, let it marinate with you a little bit. And so let's move on to the individual scopes. That symbology, as you know, talks about the macro cycle on the collective scale, because all of us are sharing that particular symbology that's imbued with this new moon. So that's on the macro cycle. So let's look at the different levels through this 6-point alchemy scope, what is likely to be unfolding for you this month. Hi Leo. So let's take a look at the I Ching hexagram that came forward to reflect the cycle for Leo-centric people over the course of this next 30 days. You received number 59, dispersing. Now when we talk about the I Ching hexagrams, there are 64 of them in total, and each hexagram, which is a stack of 6 lines, consists of 2 trigrams, a lower trigram of 3 lines and an upper trigram of 3 lines. Dispersing, and each of those trigrams imbues or reflects, represents an aspect of nature. The two trigrams that make up this particular hexagram and this archetype of 59 dispersing are wind above, water below. Now, a reminder that I'm reading here from the visionary I Ching. There's a possibility that I'm going to be shifting how I'm interpreting the I Ching in future scopes, but for now, this is the visionary I Ching. Nothing survives forever, not even rocks, not even the most rigid of structures. All obstacles dissolve in time. The erosion of that which has been solid is not necessarily bad. It can mean that something new is being created. Another image is of ice flows, hardened in winter, dispersing in the warmth of spring. When the ice melts, a mighty river emerges. This is a time of small changes producing big results over time. Rigidity in the hearts of men tends to breed a separateness that can only be thawed by a greater force, typically a strong spiritual stirring. The thawing of cold hearts always improves conditions. The first thing to dissolve is any internal rigidity within yourself that separates you from others. Try to work more closely with others, concentrating on common activities which evidence your integrity and native goodwill. Suddenly, strong action in support of a greater good can lift the spirit and lead toward new possibilities in many areas. Spiritual impulses, including a sense of justice, should be honored and acted upon. They can provide an initial gentle impulse to important and constructive change. Avoid righteous indignation and aggressive force of any kind, and disunity will be overcome. Nevertheless, if you should have any lingering business or other partnerships that are inactive or not working, you might consider dissolving these. Hi Leo, welcome to your June 2015 Alchemy Scope. I'm here outside on the new moon. It's May 17th, and the actual point of the Taurus new moon that's starting our new moon, new month cycle is in a few hours' time. It's windy and it's gusty, it's overcast today, and the candle is here as a representation of the spiritual light that is here. The physical candle keeps going out because of the wind, but the spiritual candle is going, so we're going to keep that there. I've already laid out the theme for the month, which we'll talk about. This is my own deck that you know, the Siri deck that you're familiar with. I'm using the Druidcraft Tarot, and I pulled one major arcana archetype card, tarot card, for each of the weeks so that we can see a little more detail. And then we'll go ahead and pull your archetype card and your Ascended Master card at the end. So I will tell you that when I was shuffling, the family card popped out and the sadness card popped out, okay? So I am going to incorporate those messages in this spread. There is something coming up this month, a theme for Leos, or again, this is a general reading. So for the majority of Leos, there could be a tendency to have your exchanges be a topic at hand. And what I'm going to say is, and we'll talk about the details here, is that there's an event that comes up within the family. This could be your blood relatives, but it could also be your family, your tribe, your community, your friends, you know, those who you consider to be family. There's something that comes up within a family dynamic that does bring sadness. However, you are able to detach in a way and be in a place of optimism and happiness. There is in fact a new learning at hand, a new teaching opportunity, meaning you're going to go through this opportunity to really get to a place of being in a state of grace with how exchanges are happening, and let's say within the family or within the tribe, within the friend unit, within the community. So there's going to be a state of grace that you're going to be able to access, even though there is a new learning opportunity. The teacher card in this particular position could in fact mean a teacher in your life. However, in this particular spread, this is really coming up as a teaching opportunity, a learning opportunity for you in order to be, in order to be in a state of grace with how you relate, communicate with people, with how you are with people. there is going to be some defensiveness about what is not right, what's not flowing, what's not going well. However, you're going to be able to emotionally get to a place of being in celebration, of remembering beauty and imagining celebration. You're going to be able to essentially access a place of optimistic being, even though there is going to be some defensiveness coming up, something that is going to cause questioning, I guess, about exchanges. There is a state of being mentally that you're going to be able to access a state of not worrying about it, relaxing about it, not stressing about it. And this is beautiful. You're going to be able to see the signs. You're going to be able to see the teaching opportunity, the new teaching opportunity that's at hand. You're going to be able to relax, see clearly, and really access that state of grace, Leo. I mean, this is really quite beautiful. I mean, again, you might have some defensiveness coming up. However, it is going to feed you getting into this place of celebration, which is quite beautiful. So let's take a look at the per week. So I went ahead and shuffled already. So again, this is the Druidcraft deck. So you did receive the High Priestess reversed. The High Priestess upright is about, it's about the deep unconscious mind. It's about deep intuition and accessing, through intuition, accessing the portal to the infinite. This is reversed for you this week, this first week, which starts actually tomorrow. So we're here at the new moon, and the new week starts for June, starts the end of May. And this is essentially what is probably this place here, which is being more defensive, not being able to really access a deep truth. You might feel blocked. You might feel not quite as intuitive. You might feel fuzzy or foggy, just not quite clear on a mental level. And then the second week, and High Priestess wanted to go for a little ride, so maybe she is talking. And so, of course, one thing that I want to make note of is that when we look in divination, when we look at the cycles that are playing out, or these trajectories that are perhaps likely trajectories for at least a large quantity of people, the storylines that are playing out, this is a matter of us being able to tune in and then take right action. We're able to then see, so that we can then turn the High Priestess around, see. So she went flying. Maybe the wind helped her want to remind us that, you know, we do want to take heed with the divination that's coming forward, and then take appropriate action. That's why I love astrology and divination so much, is that we're able to then tune in and actually be present to the energies that are at play, and then we can choose differently, then we can pay attention, then we can attend. So the second week for you, Leo, the Death card is reversed. As you know, the Death card is in of the mind, body, spirit, 3 tiers of the tarot as a teaching. The Death comes in the body, or the 3D physical reality realm. It's also our energy. So there is a transition occurring when it's upright, a transmutation occurring in our physical reality. Well, with it reversed, it means there's a stagnation, or that there's a refusal to shift what is needed to be shifted. So it could be that, again, whatever's coming up, this exchange, let's say there's a family dynamic that brings up some defensiveness or some issue that creates sadness. It could be that in this second week, this is where something comes that's like a sticking factor, that's not moving, that maybe needs to be moved. And it could be that the sadness comes into play, and then perhaps it moves into this more optimistic state. So the second week, there's some stagnation, something that wants to be transmuted that's not transmuting. And then for the third week, okay, another reversal. So you're receiving the Fool reversed. The Fool upright is free will. it's choice. It's kind of with a childlike wonder and awe, moving through life, moving through the different chapters, you know, the different evolutions of self, by making free will choice. And so there's a level of him in the simplicity having everything he needs, right? Reversed, there's a sense of maybe fear about moving forward, or a hesitancy about moving forward in one manner or another with regard to this issue at hand. So there might be some stagnation. So there seems to be some fuzziness, some stagnation with the Death card reversed, and then some halting. So you might hold yourself back maybe from, I don't know, being, let's say, in a state of full bliss, full happiness, full optimism. It could be that the family dynamic that's taking place, or whatever this dynamic is that's taking place regarding an exchange, is wanting some conventional response to it that you're not vibing with. But you're, instead of you actually kind of trusting your own, you know, feeling about it, you actually get to a place of feeling a bit stuck with it, or holding off, at least for now. I hope that makes sense. So then for the 4th week, now the moon card is reversed. Again, another reversal for you. So I think you're the first sign so far with all reversals. The moon upright is about discernment. It's about the ability to see in shadow, to see clearly in shadow, to see that which is mysterious. It's also about deep psychic ability and real connection. I mean, it is connected to the High Priestess in some ways. It's also about illusion and delusion, because in shadow things can look one way and they are really another way. Ultimately, the spiritual journey for us with the moon is about developing discernment. The moon is always about developing discernment. So reversed, it's about not being able to discern. So it might in fact be, I mean, for me, the theme is about getting to a place of grace with how you interplay with others. And so this theme is at play. It could be, if we're looking at the tarot and the evolution per week, that you might be, for some of you out there, it might be that you aren't able to get ultimate clarity on it. But if we're looking at the spread, for me, I have to say, I do believe that the majority of you are going to get to a place of relaxing the mind, of seeing the signs, of understanding the new lesson that's at play, of actually achieving the theme that's at hand, which is getting to a place of grace with your relationships, with your exchanges, with your communications. So I'm going to put this back up in the middle. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull your Ascended Master. And again, this is Doreen Virtue's Ascended Master deck. This is the specific guidance that's coming forward for you for this particular cycle. It could be that it's going to clue you in very specifically on what action, what attitude, what perception will optimally serve you this month with the situation at hand. So let's see what's coming up. Oh, beautiful. So you received Isis, balance, career, and home life. And I'll read it from Doreen's book here, but this is a great card. I mean, Doreen doesn't go into it, but Isis was a magician, really. I mean, she took the pieces of Osiris and rebuilt him and brought him back to life. I mean, Isis is quite something here. So, and she doesn't really touch into that, but let's see. Let's read what she says here. Okay. So Doreen writes, you drew this card as a reminder to keep balance in your life. You can do this more easily than you may imagine. You already know which part of your life is lopsided, and you may be feeling symptoms of burnout from this imbalance. You can rapidly shift your energy in positive ways by devoting time each day to your priorities. Even 30 minutes a day spent in meaningful ways will lift your mood, morale, and motivation. So this is certainly going to get you from a place of defensiveness or getting caught in a story of defensiveness about the things that aren't right to a place of optimism. So certainly, you know, having more balance between your work and your home life is going to serve you. And more balance in general with regard to foods, movement, stillness versus action, all of it. I think just balance overall is really going to serve you this month, especially too with all of the tarot reversals that we have here, and the moon reverse too, because the moon reversed can allude to more extreme delusion. I don't get the impression that that's really going to unfold for the majority of you, though, I have to say. I don't think it's going to get to a place of extremity, but you never know. So let's see what archetype. So this is Carol and Mrs. Archetype deck. Let's take a look and see which archetypal quality set is wanting to be matured within you this month. Beautiful. So you received Angel. Let me read it first and then I'll show it to you. So Angel's lower frequency manifestation is acting innocent or angelic to mislead others, falsely claiming to be in touch with angelic guidance. The higher frequency manifestation of Angel and what wants to be matured into is helping those in need with no expectation of return. So it could very well be that perhaps in a family situation where there is some event that creates an exchange that exacerbates some defensiveness, that this angel archetype, again, helping those in need with no expectation of return, which is actually really ringing to me loudly for you. It could very well be that this is indeed what is wanting to happen here. So it might be that you're being asked to help in some way, and you are feeling defensive about it. You know, you don't want to, for whatever variety of reasons. Could be that there was some history with this particular person in the family or the group itself. But I think because you're going to see, because you're going to know, at some level you're going to know that this is a new teaching opportunity for you. And I do believe that you're going to be able to see those signs very clearly. That's a beautiful thing. So there is discernment that is going to play out for you. There is discernment that you are going to get to. Because this was turned over, don't fret about that at all. It's just a matter of being aware that it could be that in that 4th week, something, you know, is pressuring you. And it's just a matter of really turning it over and becoming discerning about what it is, what's not right, why is there defensiveness, getting clarity around it, and getting to a place of optimism, your natural inherent state. So Leo, let's take a look at what else we have for you this month. As we move into the final component, Leo, of your Alchemy Scope, we come to the Dakini goddess that is coming forward to reflect the embodiment for you that would optimally serve you during this next 30-day cycle. You received number 18, Saraswati, a beautiful Dakini. Again, I'm reading here from Penny Slinger's 64 Dakini Oracle, and if you would like to dive deeper, you can link to a full PDF document that is below this video. She is the river of art, knowledge, and culture, flowing from the air of divine consciousness into human consciousness. Saraswati is the Hindu goddess of creation. She holds the first place in the Hindu trinity of goddesses formed by Saraswati, creation, Lakshmi, preservation, and Kali, dissolution. She is like a seed, a prime mover.
the vibration at the root of all sound and form. The goddess was originally connected with the Saraswati River. Her name means a flowing woman and describes how knowledge is like a river that flows out from its source with the allure of a beautiful woman. She is the patroness of the arts, especially music, poetry, culture, and all intellectual pursuits. She is considered the mother of the Vedas, the principal Hindu spiritual texts. I'm going to read some more here from the divinatory meaning that Penny writes. Saraswati appears before you bringing gifts of creativity and new knowing. She is the pure essence of the creative spirit, bringing a new dawn of this energy into your life. The birth of a project, the manifestation of a vision. She brings boons, particularly in the area of music, learning, and the dissemination of culture. Her energy is pure, sattvic. In any creative endeavor you may be involved with, look to the pure essence of the idea. Hold that as sacred and let all radiate and unfold from that point of purity. Create a pure place in your consciousness into which to invite Saraswati. Look for the inner clarity. Take joy in solitude and solitary pursuits. The answer to something you have been thinking about for a very long time suddenly becomes self-revealing. Knowledge becomes wisdom. Insight leading to realization. Seeing something in a fresh, new way. You are able to articulate something in a new way. Your words carry weight. Use them discerningly. Eloquence of speech. A good time for public speaking. Refinement of sensibilities. Improved memory. The power of contemplation. The power of mantra. One of Saraswati's gifts is to help you connect you with Source through the use of divine sound and prayer. She wants to help you create a standing wave of connection.